Einen wunderschönen guten Morgen aus Berlin, meine Damen und Herren. Mit einer kleinen Verzögerung, einer ganz normalen technischen Panne, wie sie bei einem Live-Messefernsehen halt vorkommen kann, beginnen wir heute am 4. Tag der Messe unsere Talkshow, wo wir Satellitentechnik einfach vorstellen wollen. Wir haben uns als Einleitung, möchte ich Ihnen erst einmal ein kleines Experiment hierbei vorführen. Es geht hier nämlich um verschiedene Materialien, wie sie beim Satelliten verwendet werden. Das Material hier, das wird nicht bei einem Satelliten verwendet. Das kennen Sie normalerweise aus der Verpackung als ganz normales Styropor. Eine Platte wie diese hat hierbei ungefähr ein Gewicht von etwa 15 Gramm mit einer ganz normalen, einfachen Briefwaage. An dieser Stelle hier bezeichnen wir erst einmal als den Wunderstoff, aus dem die Satelliten sind. Wir legen ihn auch auf die Waage. Er ist natürlich ein bisschen schwerer. Wir kommen hier auf ein Gewicht von etwas unter 50 Gramm. Das ist im ersten Moment noch nichts Besonderes, aber schauen wir uns mal ein paar andere Eigenschaften dieses Stoffes an. Dazu räumen wir mal die Waage weg. Wir legen dieses Teil da drauf und einen solchen Stein, den habe ich gerade heute Morgen in Berlin gefunden. Habe ich gedacht, den könnte man dafür ganz gut verwenden. Den kann man ohne weiteres hier draufsetzen. Der kann auch da drauf fallen. Und dieses Material hier, das rührt sich einfach überhaupt nicht. Man kann sich schon vorstellen, wenn ich die gleiche Geschichte hier mit Styropor mache, es biegt sich hier schon entsprechend durch. Wenn ich das mal kräftig mache, dann bricht es. Nun, dieses Material lässt sich also durch einen normalen Stein mit einem Gewicht von schätzungsweise, sagen wir mal 5 Kilo, nicht nennenswert beeindrucken. Wollen wir doch mal überlegen oder sehen, ob wir dieses Ding nicht doch klein kriegen können. Dazu haben wir hier, legen wir dieses Material hier unten auf den Boden einmal. Ja, und jetzt werde ich mal versuchen, auf dieses Teil da drauf zu steigen. Also mit einem Lebendgewicht von 90 Kilo müsste das doch eigentlich dann mal langsam nachgeben. Wir werden einmal gucken. Jetzt hänge ich noch ein bisschen an der Schnur vom Mikrofon. Ich steige da drauf. Mit einem Fuß. Ja. Und Sie haben gesehen, dieses Material, das hält nicht nur mich ohne Schwierigkeiten aus, sondern das bewegt sich noch nicht einmal und ist gerade mal ein bisschen schwerer als Styropor, der Stoff, aus dem die Satelliten sind. Ich begrüße hier im Studio Herrn Didier Pin. Herr Didier Pin ist zuständig für die Eutelsat-Programme bei der Firma Aerospatiale im wunderschönen Cannes in Südfrankreich gelegen. Wir werden uns im Anschluss noch ein paar Bilder auf ein Video aufgenommen ansehen und wir werden nach diesem Video die Talkshow in englischer Sprache fortsetzen, weil in Cannes können die meisten Leute normalerweise kein Deutsch, dort wird Französisch gesprochen. Aber schauen wir uns zuerst einmal das Video an. Yeah. Good morning, Mr. Pen. I may welcome you here in the studio after this very impressive pictures which we got from the build-up of the satellite and also of this very impressive structure which we had. Could you give us an idea what will this beautiful structure consist of?
This piece consists of aluminium, but the thickness, the very high thickness that we have seen before, is due to the form of the central part, because it's composed as a sandwich, two plates on each side, and then inside a part which is made form of honeycomb.
I must say, when I see it in the inside part, the thing here is very thin. If we have it here, for instance, it looks like, let's say, I would say chocolate paper. What's it?
It's very close, in fact, but thanks to the form with the five sides of the honeycomb, it's extremely rigid and very difficult to disform.
So in fact, a material which is very thin, it has more or less the thickness of, I would say, like chocolate paper. This form, as we could not see it here, is it rectangular or what is it?
No, it's not rectangular.
Maybe tubes?
No, it's difficult to see. But
I think we have a photo of it.
We have a diapositive later on.
Can we have the diapositive there? Can we have the diapositive? The first one.
The second one.
The scanner. There, I think we could see the material itself. Now the next one. Okay. The next one. Okay. However, this material here, can you give me any information about how stiff is it? That means we with 90 kilo didn't give any impression to this material.
Oh, I think it can support even much more than than your weight. If we compare with such honeycomb with a classic alloy surface, it's improved the thickness by 2 or 3.
That's great. Just we had seen the picture where we can see the structure. It looks like, as the name say, honeycomb. That means where the beans usually live, where we get the honey from.
It's exactly the origin of the of the name of.
So we just have copy an example of a normal
Not
nature.
Sure,
in this case.
made sometime very good examples.
When I see this material, and it's very lightweight, it is very rigid. I would say a lot of home mobile users would be very happy because they could think to use this material for their home mobile, because normally home mobile have a lot of problems with their weight. They are overloaded, so they could save a lot of weight. So is in a material like this affordable for normal persons? That means how much is this?
For the price, you mean?
Yes.
Or we can say that, first of all, there are different thickness, there are different type of honeycomb, and there are also different material. The center, it's always in aluminium. The plates could be either aluminium or even more efficient in carbon fiber. And in that case, the price increases significantly. In that case, we can estimate, let's say, 5,000 Dutch mark per square meter.
5,000?
Yeah, it's very expensive, but anyway, in space, everything.
You can even tell it in French francs and I translate it, that's no problem. So, it's 15,000 per square meter. Did I have it right? Or?
Approximately.
Okay. So, it depends how luxury home mobile you want to have with 5,000 German marks or 15,000 francs per square meter for such a surface, but you save weight on it. You mentioned there are also carbon fiber structure on the top and on the other side.
On the both sides, yeah.
And can you explain? This is aluminium. Everybody understands what's aluminium, but what's carbon fiber?
As it's explained by the name, it's composed of carbon, but which is arranged in fiber, which are all on the same direction, which produce a very high rigidity on one direction with a very low mass. And if we put different skins, we can have rigidity on all directions and with still a very low mass compared to the aluminium or the alloys or material.
Great. We have here a model of our Eutelsat satellites. Can I have it? Then we're turning it away a little bit.
If you want.
And can you show us where, I may give you this, can you show us where is this material used on the satellite? Can the camera see the satellite, yeah? Okay.
In fact, it's almost everywhere because it's on these two panels, which are the north and south panel, where are installed all the equipment which are inside the satellite, and also on this face. So these three faces are composed of this kind of panel, but it's also used for the solar rays. The solar cells are glued on such panel, and it's also used for the reflector, which have to be formed and not like this. But so you can see that 90% of the satellite is composed of this in terms of volume, not in terms of mass.
So you could say, as you use normal tin to build a cast structure, you'll use this material to build the structure of a satellite.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. But I think there are certain reasons to use this material. One of these reasons is surely that, thank you, one of the reasons is surely to save weight, that is clear. But can you describe which are the environment where a satellite is, let's say at launch and in the orbit? That means normally we think a satellite flies around, there are no gravity. Why do we need such a really stiff material to build up a satellite?
When the satellite is on orbit, we don't need really such a stiff structure, but we need it for the launch. When the satellite is on the launcher and when it goes up, we have very important acceleration and vibration, and we must and the electronic component cannot survive with huge acceleration. So we have to be sure that there is no increase of vibration, that everything survives on the launch.
Yeah. Can you give us an idea? You mentioned there are a lot of vibration, a lot of acceleration on the launch. Could you give us an idea? Let's say how much is the acceleration?
Or we can say it's less than 10 G, which let's say 8 or 9 G.
8 or 9 G.
Compared to the 1 G, which is
okay. That means the satellite has the 8th or the 9th of his 9 times his normal weight.
Exactly.
Okay, I think everybody can imagine that a normal satellite must carry on the 9 times of the normal weight. You need a perfectly rigid structure. But can you tell me something about, let's say, the environment the satellite is when he is in orbit?
When the satellite reaches position in orbit, which means at 36,000 kilometers from the Earth, first of all, there is no more atmosphere, so we are in vacuum. And then we can have a lot of radiation which are going through the satellite. We have UV, we have
UV is ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet.
Okay.
We could even have micrometeorite, but everything has to survive.
Yeah. As we are in the moment in a very general discussion, let's say about the hole in the ozone atmosphere. In particular, when you told ultraviolet radiation, I think a lot of people might get a little bit sensitive, besides getting brown. And how much bigger is how much is the ultraviolet radiation increased in comparison to what's on Earth here?
Well, we can see that it's approximately 100 times more than what we can see on the Earth. even if the ozone is decreasing.
Okay, 100 times more. That's really very tough. And then you mentioned micrometeorites. Normally from meteorites, we know it from meteorite Halley, for instance.